Get ready to settle in. For an entertaining 4 quarters, the AFC-NFC Pro Bowl underway from Las Vegas. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. They're led out by last season's comeback player of the year. In his third season now, it's Joe Burrow.
I know he's not showing it on the outside, but inside, he's got to be celebrating, because think about all the quarterbacking we saw in the AFC this year. 5 or 6 guys could have earned this honor. He got the nod, a real feather in his cap.
Quickly to the air is Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Taylor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. His first pass attempt of the game, Charles, and the pass rush was right there to hit him. But no fear, he delivered an accurate ball. Nice catch.
And you never want to see your quarterback getting hit. But it also sends a message to the rest of the team when he's able to take that shot and still deliver downfield. Showing a little toughness, and the team rallies around him. This could really help them on their drive. Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. And this one is incomplete.
The offense schemed, going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He's going to take another shot here. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. They'll be led out by Deshaun Watson. Of course, he won a national title at Clemson and already has 3 Pro Bowls under his belt in the National Football League.
And no doubt about it, it was a banner year for quarterbacks in the NFC. A number of guys could very well have been selected for this. But I thought he stood out. I thought he found a way to separate himself from the pack. And he's been rewarded as the starting quarterback in a Pro Bowl. Definitely the right choice in my book.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Taylor will score. Touchdown AFC. So the AFC, they won the Pro Bowl the last couple of seasons and off to another good start here.
Yeah, how about that? The first touchdown of this game. How many more do we expect to see?
Hopefully a lot. I want offense in this ball game.
I don't think there's any question about it. Rarely do you get defensive struggles in the Pro Bowl.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. So now we'll get our second look in this game at the NFC offense. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, that one's all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He'll buy some time right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. The AFC about ready to take over on offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive to about the 33-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he'll be stopped at about the 38 after a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From midfield now, Burrow. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 50 yards. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Wouldn't be the Pro Bowl without the QBs taking some shots, and that shot paid off.
He understood, I don't know if it's instinctively or if he did his homework, that you do take your shots, as you said, in this game because the payoff is terrific. We will remember how many touchdown passes you threw. I don't think we ever recall how many interceptions you throw in a game like this.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll make the score 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Watson. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And this is going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. They run once more with Taylor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's Burrow completing this to Chase. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Taylor. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line. So if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple more times.
2nd down and goal. Mahomes toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play. Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Watson off play action.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
To throw on 2nd is Watson.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
2 yards on the pickup there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Watson.
He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
Here's Jake Camarda now.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. They've been off to the races already, a 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4, 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
52 yards rushing for him in this first quarter, and I think it's safe to say he's enjoying running behind this Pro Bowl offensive line.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back. And even then, they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
On 2nd down and 4, Mahomes. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. McCaffrey running up the middle, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And this offense on 3rd down today, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. And Watson has enough for the first down yardage as he slides to the turf. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Watson. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call, because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 99 yards rushing for him now in this first half of the Pro Bowl.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
The throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Nick Chubb taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and a rout is on here in this first half. So the drive there took 6 plays, and Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there. Right from
a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Prime example there of how his height can be an advantage. It makes it tough on some of these smaller defensive backs.
When they try and go through that type of a receiver to get the football, oftentimes that big body, that frame will block them away. And whether the receiver has to elevate or extend, now he has a clear path to the football with the defender usually on his back.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself.
Touchdown! Mike Evans. A 5-yard touchdown. And the NFC able to cut into that lead. Well, the scoreboard still does not look good, but at least they polished off that goose egg.
Yeah, they've been thoroughly outplayed in the first half. Finally, a little spark of life, but it's going to take a lot more to add to that flame for them to thoroughly get back into this one.
Extra point good by Prater, and that'll make it 24-7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's Mike Evans who caps it with a touchdown reception. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
On first down, Mahomes. Well, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On the handoff, Taylor puts it on the carpet. It's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face third and short. They'll run for it. He put it on the carpet, a fumble. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. All fumbles are costly, but that one really hurts because he had the first.
Yeah, that's all he needed, right? But the problem is we coach these guys to try and get more, but that doesn't count if you don't bring the ball with you, does it?
The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. They coming off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball. That cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting them the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor.
Now a throw here to his running back. Oh, nice move. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Second down at 5. To throw is Watson. That escapes the sack. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a three-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the mass of bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Prater's kick is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. Trailing here in the first half still, but maybe, Charles, that'll help them get some momentum back. First the forced fumble, and then they're able to get a field goal out of it.
And down in the game, they came out and created their own opportunity on one side of the ball and did get points out of it, as you mentioned. Complimentary football right there as they try and bring this one back to even.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series for those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The AFC thus far on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Burrow. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And you don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? This is McCaffrey on the give. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 45 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Evans. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From the 27, Watson flushed out right. And Watson has enough for the first down yardage as he slides to the turf. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Prater's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The AFC set to take over on offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So we have hit halftime of the Pro Bowl with the AFC leading the NFC. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Day.
It's the NFC to possess it first as we are back and underway for the third quarter. Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out, continue to throw the ball effectively.
86 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Watson. To Evans on the slant. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 2nd and 9. Watson. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his
touchdown. Cooper Kupp, a 16-yard touchdown. And the NFC has now cut it to within 1 score. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to lead his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. With it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
The AFC offense now heading out for their first drive of the second half. But, Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 44, Lawrence. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at him. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's scooped up by the NFC. 20. And he will take this back. A fumble return for an NFC touchdown. And a big turning point here in the 2nd half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Prater to add the PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The AFC offense making their way back out. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And, Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And Chubb trying to... And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. But the tide definitely seems to be turning in this 3rd quarter as his defense is able to knock the ball free and recover.
And let's look at it this way. Their offense is right back out there who just got them the lead a few minutes ago. This has the potential to be a big swing in this game.
The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Devin Bush in there to drop him for a loss on the play. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, You'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Second and 10. Watson gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Back to throw, Watson. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Watson on first down. Now that'll be caught by Cup. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Three yards remain for second down. To the air yet again. Watson complete. Smith has it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now it's Watson. And he is in. Touchdown NFC.